Another great interview, this time a live interview with the singer, the founding member of Demon. Here we are with Dave Hill.
Hello there. Nice to see you. Yeah.
And the gig was fantastic.
Well, I think tonight the promoter asked us to
I see.
do the majority of the early first three albums. So we base most of those around that. But we're always there to play.
I have to say that A Night of the Demon, okay, The Unexpected Guest, they have some trade union between them. But the third play, it was quite different, much more progressive, and much more keyboards.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it was, I mean, a lot of bands maybe, in their career would do similar albums.
Yeah.
1 to 10 or however they make. I mean, I grew up listening to, people like Pink Floyd, David Bowie, Deep Purple, and I've got the albums those people made, and it was always different the next time.
See,
just when you were comfortable with one album, and they changed it, and I always liked that. And I thought, if I ever get the opportunity, I don't want to do the same every time. Having said that, I always say in an interview, had the Unexpected Guest sold 10 million worldwide, maybe yes, we'd have done 10 Unexpected Guest. But I mean, no, that's. I was quite happy to move on with different styles, and so really we did the first two, which it was just an experience that happened with us. The plague came around. It was in the period of time, so we picked up on it. The late Mel Spooner and myself picked up on it, and we wrote The Plague, which wasn't an intention of being the third album, but it ended up being so.
Some difference between your music and your lyrics. The lyrics are more about something mysterious, and the music, I think that's quite melodic, quite catchy.
I think
not so dark, not so doomed.
No, I think looking back, and I did a lot of interviews with the new album, Invincible, and
Invincible is quite once again different.
And a lot of the people, I did interviews in South America, Russia, and people mentioned Ghost. And they said that there's some similarity. I mean, Ghost have mentioned us. I've seen some similarity. And
so famous now, and incredibly famous.
But I think the similarity is the fact is, and I didn't realize until these days, that we could write any subject we liked, but I'm what you call a sucker for a melody. I love a melody. So basically, and what the people who interviewed me said that if you listen to Ghost, all of a sudden they're doing a very sweet melody, with a heavy subject, and Demon's always done that. And I said, well, yeah, here we are, but I didn't realize till somebody points it out, but. That's the way it is. We weren't doom and gloom. So basically, I think that's even the new album. We still the accent is on melody.
Probably is much more direct music. Can I say more catchy, more simple to catch?
Yeah, I mean, we did the new album, and I mean the reviews have been absolutely astounding. Really, it's almost saying. Why have Demon come up with this after 40 years? We didn't expect that. So I said, well, that's what we do. So I think you can pick any artist out. Like I mentioned with Bowie and Hendrix and Purple and people like that and Sabbath. They didn't, they did move. So, and I think that's what we've always done. And I will stand by and say, well, if it's good or bad, we want you to try and offer to the fans and people out there something different every time.
What can you tell us about this lineup?
Well, this lineup has been together. I mean,
because you are the sole survivor from the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, things have changed. I mean, we've been around for 45 years, a long time, and even longer. And people do come and go. I'm still friends. I can speak or phone up at any of the people that were in the band. except the ones that are not with us anymore. Spooner, of course. Yes, of course, Mal. I'd love to ring you up, no chance. But this happens, I mean, we've been together now with this band. There's one exception tonight, our guitar player, the tall guy.
Yeah, the tall guy, yeah.
Chase. And he stepped in with us before because our guitar player, Dave Cottrell, was away. He's in China somewhere. He did tell us that we do some work. So we do have a stand-in. But the basic lineup of the band's been together, 10, 15 years. So that is a good,
a lot of time.
It's a good period of time because if a band's been going 40 odd years, then you don't expect to have all the same people. If we were all making millions of pounds, everybody would have stayed in the band. But
what's your opinion about the situation of rock and metal music nowadays? Do you think that a young band can have some chances to?
Yeah, I think to grow. I think it's changed because obviously with the internet and downloads and. But I think it's quite helpful. There's a lot of
Streaming
a lot of good bands coming out, and I mean, take Sabaton for instance. I mean, I think that the track one track called "The Last Battle," the riff in it is now the Demon riff, which I was pointed out. So I contacted Warner Brothers years ago. The first two albums were with Warner's.
Yeah.
And I said, someone's mentioned to me, they may be using the riff. I do like them. And anyway, they contacted Sabaton and Sabaton apologized to me. Apologized to Mr. Delvey. We didn't know it was faked. Anyway, I ended up, myself and Mel Spooner, are now with the two writers from Sabaton. It's now 4 writers, The Last Battle. So I get paid royalties. And they're very nice of them to say, but they were obviously influenced in somewhere or other because they said they were fans when my publishers contacted. So, I mean, that's nice. I mean, they picked up on something they liked, but obviously it was out of surface. But I mean, there's a lot of bands. I think there's a lot of people, a lot of good music and rock. And I mentioned Ghost. I like Ghost. Sorry? Ghost, the band. Yeah, I like them. I mean, I can see where they're coming from. I mean, 1 minute on the album, it's like, there's one on there where I've forgotten, I don't know if it's the last album or the album before. There's one track a bit like Belinda Carlisle on there. It's sort of an 80s pop song. And then the next track is a big long one like Genesis from the 70s. And I thought, wow, that's very interesting. And so, I mean, to me, I grew up with that sort of, and so I can appreciate where they're coming from.
And how you came out with this concept of being with the makeup on stage, and I mean, in the 80s, it was something that you had done for Be Different from the other bands, or you really feel?
I think what it was, we were called Demon, and we'd recorded Night of the Demon, and we needed to go out and, we were gigging, but needed to go out and publicise the album, and the album got good reviews and that, so I had a latex suit and a head, and I mean, I was 40 years younger, so, I was mad perhaps, so, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Because your makeup and your move on stage reminds me something of, for example, Fish from Myron Marillion.
Yeah.
Would be some.
Yeah, maybe so. It's, I always like doing things like that, moving around, creative.
What are your influences about music, generally speaking, and vocalist?
I mean, I think, you mentioned, I mean, I remember seeing Peter Gabriel, and he was always putting something into what the song was about, and I quite like that. So basically, I thought, well, from the start, I would like to be involved in something that brings it over, and it ended up we did Night of the Demon, which is, well, I mean,
in the beginning,
In the beginning, yeah, there's a lot of places. I mean, obviously we were caught up in the new wave of British heavy metal, and then
But you think that your bands could be are fitting this kind of new wave of British heavy metal sound, or maybe something apart from it?
I don't think we were. We always get put in that, but I don't think we were particularly new wave of British heavy metal type of bands. But I mean, we were around, we were gigging, and this thing cropped up in the papers, new wave of British heavy metal. So years later, I mean, wherever we play, whatever we do, any part of the world, our origin is new wave of British heavy metal. So I say, okay, well, that's where we came from. So we'll stick with that. And once we did move on.
Moved on with many other records during the 90s too. And 90s wasn't a good period for this kind of music, of course.
So, I mean, things had changed. I mean, even in the 80s, I mean, once the new wave, it was only lasted about 12 months, the new wave British heavy metal. And then the American thing came, like Bon Jovi, then thrash and
Yes.
which
Very trance came out, yeah.
things did change like that. We'd had some reasonable sales on the first two albums in Germany, in Europe, yes. So we thought, well, we'll go there. And Germany's always been, and eventually we'd come to Italy, when Italy's been really nice as well. But
Even during the 90s,
yeah,
it was a good
so
good market.
we got away from, we couldn't compete with what was going on with the music papers and the trends, yes, which in Britain was, the Metallica thing, which great band, and of course Bon Jovi. It was American time. They came, New Wave, most of those bands finished. They didn't play anymore. Iron Maiden moved on, of course. They were success. So was Saxon and Def Leppard and things. So and we were okay because we're in Sweden. We had I think a top 20 album. I think it was The Unexpected Guest. Then the Plague did well there. So eventually we went to Sweden, and people were glad to see us. And Germany was always good for us. Always, yes. It's always a gigging place. That kept us going, and we made more albums because we wanted to. And we didn't just say, okay, all this is over, let's finish. We said no. We'd moved on. It's that's what we are.
You know what? When I was listening to your songs, especially that album, in the period after the first three albums, I get some emotions because your voice and the melody of your music give me some kind of dramatic feelings.
Right. Oh, it's not very nice.
I think that your voice is quite unique, and in some way.
Well, I'll take that. That's quick. Yeah, I mean, I've always tried to, whatever we've written and whatever we're doing is to feel it. And yeah, I mean, I always say there's a track on the latest album called Forever 17. And it was written because someone interviewed me and said, how do you feel when you go in and do new songs? And I said, I said, look, I'm still 17 when I go in the studio. I still feel the same as I did then. I wanted to do it good. I wanted to do it the best good. And I still had that feeling. So we wrote a song for
And one important thing that your voice, alive and in the records, are quite the same. I can listen something different because your feeling is the same. Also when you're singing in the studio, and especially of course, so quite important in my.
I mean, my thought is that I should give the best I can to what I've written. That's me. I like to delve into it and perform it.
Another important thing is the lyrics. There aren't songs about going to parties or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like that sort of thing. So it just happens to turn out that way when we're working on it. So, and I'm quite an emotional person, so I would sing, right.
Me too. That's why I've always felt some connection with your music and your voice too.
Well, the people I like and the people I listen to are people that that maybe not the best singers in the world, but you hear one line and you go, wow, wow, thank you very much. It doesn't matter who it is. So whether it's a country and western singer or whether it's a rock singer, and you hear something, and I love songs, and you go, wow, that's from extremes of Joe Cocker to you tell me and you can hear a line, and forever for me. I think, that's work. So I'm from that school, so that's what I
See. I know what you mean. Planning for the future? Are you planning a tour or a new album?
Yeah, we are working on another album. Like I say, I mean, we're still promoting. We didn't do so much of it tonight, but been still promoting Invincible. We've released 2-3 tracks from it because it's been selling quite well, and it's popular. But we're with Frontiers now, do 2 albums.
Yeah, Frontiers record.
And they've come back to us and said, how are things? And we said, well, we got some. They said, well, but we'd like to pick up our option.
So if you want to say bye to Italian fans and friends.
Yeah, we've had a great night here in Italy, and I always find the fans are very warm and very sincere in this country. And thank you very much, and thanks for buying the records. Thanks for listening to us, and God bless you all. Thank you.